Hello everyone, welcome to one more video edition from us and get got a lot of queries on people, especially technical writers who have been making some inquiries on HTML. And I thought HTML as a language is important, especially in terms of technical writers who are using help authoring tools to write content, generate HTML set of documentation, and wouldn't it be nice if they are able or are in a condition to, sort of like come up with pretty basic HTML programs. So what I thought was let me do a series of videos which will be on the basics of HTML. Of course, there are umpteen number of videos on net that you can go through, but this is my attempt for my technical writing friends who have been asking me. Um, and so I decided to create a couple of videos, and in this video, I'm going to talk about the very first thing about HTML. So let's go and explore what HTML is all about. So for your understanding, HTML, hypertext markup language, is the standard markup language for creating and developing web pages. Generally, when we talk about HTML, we talk or we discuss about web pages, and that's the standard markup languages that people use. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use Notepad++, which is over here, in order to create my HTML programs. Now, you can take Notepad also, which is freely available on Windows. I decided to take Notepad++ again, um, thinking about it that tomorrow, if we plan to work on Git and GitHub and GitHub JSON and all that, which I'm planning to make a couple of videos on that also very soon. So I thought Notepad++ would be a good thing to start off with. It is freely downloadable on Windows. And if you need the link, just put it on the comments and I'll let you know about it. So first thing first is I open Notepad++, and as you can see, this is a blank document. And what I do is that first thing first is you go over here. So an HTML program has a set of elements and a series of elements, a set of elements. So anything and everything that we talk about is on HTML, which is on HTML element for that. Now, to begin with that, because you need to declare and or you need to make a declaration that this is an HTML program, I presume that we are in HTML 5.2 right now. The first thing that we plan to do is convey that it's an HTML program. So what you do is that you have in HTML called a set of tags, which we do. So first thing first is most of the time that you will be starting off will be with an opening tag, something like this. So this is my opening tag, as you can see. So I start with a tag and I write here HTML, all in lower cases element. Then I close it. How do I close it? This way. So you start with an opening tag and you close with this tag for that matter. All right. Now, once you have written over here, quickly go through and just put here a closing tag, something like HTML over here. All right. So this is your end tag. So the opening tag starts there with HTML and an end tag starts with the forward slash that you can see here. All right. So opening tag, close tag. Anything and everything that we write in HTML has to have an opening and a closing tag. And the content between this is your element content. So most of the elements will have a closing tag, barring or exception. There are quite a few, such as break tag for that matter. So this is my root element that I have written. Because I will forget, I quickly went and had an end tag. Now, anything and everything that we'll write in HTML will be in this set of tags that you said between the opening and closing tag. Now, what are we going to do? Let's say that you are going to create a web page, and that web page is going to be currently there is a FIFA World Cup going on in US, Canada, and Mexico. So let's go and create a web page for the FIFA World Cup. Now that so what we do currently at that point of a time, firstly, whenever you create a web page, on the top of the web page, you will see that there is something called a header. So what you do is that give a header element. Again, you write header element, HEAD. So you write this header element, and inside the header element, what we will have the name of the web page, which is represented by the title element. So I go here and write the title element here, TITLE, and I close this. Now, if you are very new to HTML, you probably, I would suggest you do like this, open it and close it like this. So your title element gets closed. Why is it so important to close it? Because if you don't close the end tag, then it is a continuation of the element, which means that next thing that you are writing outside, which may be a heading one also, but that will continue. It will seem like it is a title tag. Now, this is your opening tag, this is your closing tag, both are they are elements. Now in between the tags, what you do is that you write the element content. For technical writers, this is what we do, we write text. So what we do is that let's go and write here FIFA World Cup and 2026. So we wrote FIFA World Cup 2026. It doesn't matter if the tags are over here. These empty spaces don't mean anything, because but still, because we are doing, it's better that you learn that you don't have so much of space. So I wrote the title, it's FIFA World Cup 2026 title. So that's my header element. Now how do I know the header element is closed? We have to close the header element before we start the main element, for that matter. So one more thing is that, so if your HTML is the root element, your header element is a parent element inside that, which is a part of the header element that we are talking about, for that matter. Now, keeping the cursor over here for this, we close the header element over here, and pardon me, I'm writing this in lowercase, so I'll just correct it, header element. I usually don't, create my demos or create my videos in a very professional scenario. So but today I had some time, so I went ahead and created a video like that. So maybe you'll see some mistakes and all that stuff. Don't get much time for editing, but I think so long as my students or my people actually get benefited, that should be good enough for me. Now you come over here, the header element is done. Now what we can do is, and by the way, if you want to make it look like the header element is part, which is, then what you can do is indent it towards the left a little bit, something like this. Then it makes, then you can also clear understand that it is inside the header element. Now once the header element is done, you start off with your body element. So BODI. So body element is of course where in the context of the work that you are doing, you will be writing all the element, all the subject line of the domain regarding the FIFA World Cup page, you will write it in the body element. So that means in your, on your email, you have a subject and you have a body, or your subject line where you will be writing the content. That's exactly what you're doing here. The first thing first is you go to your file and click save. Why am I saving? You you will quickly understand. So I go to save, and I decided to actually save it here, for that matter, and give it a name here. So I call it, let's say, FIFA.html. So this is your HTML file name, or the file name. Okay, and I gave it a name with an extension of .html. You are saving it as a plain text file, normal txt file, which is basically telling the browser that this is a web page that you are creating, or rather this is an HTML file. So you save it. Now, the moment I saved it, automatically you will see that the elements are reflected in blue color. So one good aspect of it is that the moment you know that which is an element, which is not. So for example, HTML is root element. We have a header element, inside that we have a title. So if it is a parent, it can be a child, like that. So header element closes, then your body element starts. So it is easier for you to know which are the elements that you are using, for that matter. Now I go here, for that matter, in this aspect of it. So under the body element, so for those of you who are coming with from an authoring background such as Word, FrameMaker, you must be acquainted with heading 1, chapter, and all those things. So let's use a heading 1 tag. By the way, these have all been defined. I mean to say, those element standards have been defined by the W3C committee. And because of that, when I write the content, I'm seeing those elements appearing over here. So inside the header element, I have a element called H1. So how do I write my H1? So you open it and write H1 tag. So you will also notice if you're using Notepad++, those tags would be visible for you to pick and choose. So that is one benefit of working in Notepad++. Every time you don't have to type, you can do a selection also. Now we have an H1 element. Now let's say we write here about this particular thing and you talk about the FIFA World Cup. So you say here about FIFA. Um, so I go here and I write about FIFA World Cup 2026. And you wrote this and you close your heading one, H1 here. Now, once it is closed, go to the next line. Now you want to write up something about your FIFA World Cup. So you use the para element, P. Okay, para element. Now write about the FIFA World Cup that we have. So I'm writing here FIFA, I think I should be using because it's an acronym. So FIFA World Cup for 2026 is getting organized or getting hosted and played getting hosted and played currently in the USA, Mexico, and Canada. All right, and you keep writing about this thing. So when you're writing about it, let's say you have the para element you have written over here. Now there are more elements out there. For example, if I want USA, Mexico, and Canada to be in bold, I can write B element, use a B element before them, and yeah, and for example, USA, Mexico, and Milan. I don't want the comma to be in bold, so you can write B element like this, and you can do for the rest of them also. Now, once it is done, save it. Okay. Now, once it is created over here, if you go back to the page of the content that it is here, so you see I saved it as a FIFA. Now I double click on it. See, the content you get to see here, the title is FIFA World Cup 2026. This is your FIFA.html, which is my file name. This is your heading one, and this is the paragraph that have content, including in United States of America, which is in bold color. At any moment of time in a web page, if you want to see the source content or you want to see the coding part of it, HTML coding part of it, you can right click on it and you will see there is something called view page source. If you click on the view page source, you will be able to see the root element HTML. Inside that you have a header, you have a title, you close the heading element, then body and paragraph. You can't do anything over here. Let's say when you are writing over it, for that matter, you want to make any changes to it. Changes in a sense, you also want Mexico and Canada to be in bold also. So you go here and create a B element over here. Note that I am doing this all on my local system. I don't have a server here to practice. So come here, Mexico, and I do a Canada wala thing. So I'll see B element. So all of this obviously has been defined. So I'm using those standards actually at that point of a time. So once you have written over here, save it. And all you need to do is to see this content again, go here and refresh the page. Now see, it has been refreshed here. Okay. This is a simple structure of HTML program that I have created. Again, just to repeat, we are using a Notepad++. The first thing that you need to have a root element of HTML. So you begin with an opening tag, which is denoted by this, and then you have a close tag. So anything and everything that we'll write will be between the HTML, because after all, it's an HTML program. Then under the header, on the main character header, you will have the title element, which is represented, and you have the element content that you have written here, FIFA World Cup. After the title element, where does the title element show? Here. See FIFA World Cup 2026. Then you go over here, you have the body element. Inside the body element, you have a heading 1, which is represented by H1. Then you have the paragraph that you can see the content that you have written. So this is the first video of a series. watch it, and I will come back most probably in couple of days time and create another video where I will explain some more stuff about HTML, about the elements and all that stuff. Enjoy it, and if you want to reach out to me, please do go to bluedotsconsultancy.com webpage. You will have our phone number over there, or I can mention it right now, 9900171161, or you can email us training@bluedotsconsultancy.com. Hope you find the video useful, and I will see you in a couple of days time with one more video. Thank you.